Hey, this is Harold McAtee from Facebook page Handmade Lures. Today's video will cover how to make your own minnow plugs. First step, you'll need to find a stick. This is what you'll be carving the minnow plug out of. The second step will be to carve the stick into the shape of a minnow. You can see here I'm using a high-speed cutting bit on a Dremel tool to carve the shape of a minnow out of it. The next step is to do the coarse sanding. You'll just do this with a coarse sanding drum on the Dremel tool once again. And after that you follow up with the fine sanding, which is the same thing with a fine sanding drum. Step 5, you'll be cutting a slot in the end of the minnow plug. This is where your diving bill will go into. Then step 6, you'll be drilling some holes in the minnow plug. This will be where you're putting your line tie, your hook hangers, and your weight for the belly of it. Step 7, you'll be going through and hand sanding, get the rest of the tool marks off of it and make the wood more smooth. Step 8 will be to put in the screw eyes for your line tie and your hooks. You just twist those in like regular screws. Step 9, you'll be inserting lead weight into the belly of it. This will help to keep the lure balanced and dive better. And step 10, you'll be applying epoxy to the weight as well as the diving bill and all of the screw eyes to keep all the parts in place. Then for step 11, you're going to sand away the excess epoxy. You're just going to be using the fine sanding drum again on the Dremel tool. For step 12, we're going to coat the lure with boiled linseed oil. This is just going to help to seal it and keep it more waterproof, be more durable over time. When that dries, you're going to apply some primer. This is just using a regular can of spray primer on it. Step 14 is you're going to paint the lure just a base coat of white all over. For step 15, you're going to paint on the scales. You're going to be using spray paint again. This time we're using some mesh through an embroidery hoop to get the scale pattern. Then after that, you're going to paint the back of the lure. Here I'm just using some black spray paint for that. Step 17, you're going to add some details. I'm just using a Sharpie marker here to add eyes, gills, fins, things like that for extra detail. The next step will be applying the epoxy with a paintbrush. Then the final step after the epoxy is dry is to attach the hooks using some split rings. Then you're done, and here's what my final product looked like.